This is my 4-layer coconut cream berry lemon pie recipe. Layer 1 is my porridge pastry right here. So if you haven't already watched the video on that, I'll provide a link below. Go ahead and click that and watch it. It'll only take a few minutes to prepare and about 30 minutes in the oven or a toaster oven. Hello, my name is Leanne Fox. So layers 2, 3, and 4 all have a common denominator ingredient, and that is this little magical thing called gelatin, just plain gelatin. So in this little box you get a packet, and one packet is going to do the job on the next 3 layers, 2, 3, and 4. I'll just show you our layers. I wrote them out. Layer 1 is the crust that I talked about that has its own video. Layer 2 is the berry. Layer 3 is the yogurt. Layer 4 is the coconut cream. So to talk about the next 3 layers, we have berries. I personally like frozen berries. I put them in a saucepan and defrost them on the stovetop on low. And secondarily, I am currently using for layer 2 a coconut yogurt, because you can get dairy yogurt, coconut, or like a cashew yogurt. The biggest thing is make sure it's plain, 100% plain, no sugar alcohols, nothing like the aspartames or even things like stevia. Leave those out. And the third one is the coconut milk, whipped coconut milk. And I personally use the can because it's thicker and whips up nicely for a cream. All right, so back to the common denominator, we have the gelatin. What we're gonna start with is you need a mixing bowl. And additionally, have a little container to the side, because like what I do is I took out just a half a teaspoon of the dry gelatin and put it to the side for my topping. So I'm putting it over there. So secondarily, you just dump it into your mixing bowl, and now you're going to add some fresh squeezed lemon juice. Personally, I use 2 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon of lemon extract. So then you mix that, just use a tablespoon, mix that together. And now what you're going to do is you want to heat it up to dissolve the gelatin. So I use a half a cup of water. I don't know what the directions are, but I personally use a half a cup of hot water. Pour that in, dissolve it. Once it's dissolved, what you want to do is, the next step, is before you're going to do anything else, you're going to go back to step 2, the berry layer. So I have that here. And once it's mixed, you're going to pour in or measure out 2 tablespoons of that mix. So now it's just taken care of layer 3, right? I took out the dry. Layer 2, I've put in 2 tablespoons of, once the hot water and the lemon juices are in there. So layer 3 is the yogurt, right? So talking about the yogurt, now what's important about yogurt is it's a natural probiotic. So you want to make sure this is cooled down. So what I did in addition to having that half a cup of water was add, now you can use just regular old ice cubes, put 2 ice cubes in. I like to keep on hand some frozen fresh squeezed lemon juice. I just make them in ice cubes up ahead of time. So you'll see there, I pop that in, and it just helps cool that mix down after it's been dissolved. Just gonna put those away. So now I'm mixing that all together, and once that's cooled down a bit, what you want to do is fold in, or just add, I'm going to show you here, I have my scale, and you're going to put that whole thing on your scale, hit your button, turn it on, and it's going to be at 0, and now you're going to add 4 ounces of your probiotic, healthy, plain yogurt. So you fold that in, and what it's going to look like is this. So I did this an hour and a half ago, and I'm going to repeat that an hour and a half ago, because it tends to be, I found the hour and a half was a nice, I'm going to use that word consistency again, for layering on my pie. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is start assembling my pie. And so I'm starting with my berry layer, right? So I've already done this one, and I already put it in the fridge So I cooled it in the fridge for an hour and a half with the gelatin in it. Now, I had it sitting out a little bit here before I started the video, so it's not as jelly, but that's okay because it's gonna go back in the fridge and finish gelling before I have my breakfast. All right. Okay, and secondarily, I'm going to add my second layer. Sorry. So I've got my crust layer, my berry layer. Now I'm going to add my yogurt layer, my lemony yogurt layer. This is so much food. And again, this is actually my whole breakfast. So anybody that wants to learn more about what I eat, you can definitely leave a message below, or yeah, just leave a message below. Okay. So adding that to the top. So lastly, we have the coconut cream topping. So this is the only portion I haven't prepared. So I just wanted to show it to you. So I'm just gonna scoop out, you can see, look at this. This is actually called coconut milk. Look at how cold it is, or how hard it is. Now that's also because I put it in a really cold spot in my fridge. I'm actually gonna need a tougher spoon. I actually don't remember it being quite this hard. All right, so I might actually need to go back, because what I did is I opened the can and then I drained out the coconut water in it. Last time I just kept adding the coconut water back into it to, again, you know, wanting to have it just as a creamy. Like right now, this is actually pretty hard. So, and the only thing I add to this is a little bit of vanilla, and the reason I do the vanilla, the pure extract, is just, oh actually, and remember I held back a half a teaspoon of the gelatin. I'm going to put that in there as well. And again, we're just, not that it really needs thickening, because as you can see, this is actually really thick. Maybe because I had it in a colder spot, I don't know, I don't remember it being quite this thick when I made it. And I actually make this a fair bit for myself, because I actually will use this in coffee. I make a really, really great Irish cream at Christmas time using this. So I was hoping to kind of whip this up. You can see how thick it is. So because it's this thick, I kept some of my coconut water. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. Just to, oh here, let's do that. There we go. Now you'll see where we're going. Now I've in the past used an immersion blender, but really you don't need to. Just need to whip it up by hand here. The idea is to make sure that can goes in the fridge before you do this, so it stays nice and cold. So I'm just gonna add my vanilla extract that I mentioned earlier. And that half a teaspoon of gelatin. Now, if you really, really love lemon, I would suggest maybe even trying swapping out the vanilla for the lemon extract and see how you like that. Okay. Now, because I measure everything, and as you know, I already measured out the yogurt, right? I did the 4 ounces of yogurt, and prior to that, I had pre-weighed out my berries. So I'm gonna put that on my scale, because now I'm down to, now I'm down to just adding my topping. So I'm actually going to be adding 4 ounces of this lemon, well, I call it lemon cream, but it's actually lemon milk, whipped lemon milk. So I'm just gonna put that on top. Almost at the 4 There we go. So I've got 4 ounces of topping. And without like boring you too much here, I'll provide a beautiful picture of one that I've made already. And lastly, I just happen to have zest that I made from organic. Make sure if you do any zesting with lemons that they're organic lemons. So I just keep that in the freezer. I top it with that, and they're just literally a sprinkle, and a sprinkle of, make sure it's unsweetened shredded coconut, and that's it. Yeah, then we end up with your 4-layer coconut cream berry lemon pie, and I can't tell you how amazing it is. It's so good, it's so delicious, and it's a breakfast on my plan. So thank you guys again for listening. God bless, and please go back down there and hit the like buttons. I think for me, this is new to me, so my understanding is that just helps, I think, make it more aware out there for people, and we want to get this word out to other people to start eating healthy. Think about your health, put that number 1 in your life, and again, hit the like button down there, right? And even subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'd love to hear from you if you left a comment below. Take care and God bless.